The first COVID-19 mass vaccine clinic is being held in Joplin. I'm Zach Dodge with how it works and what it means for the community. Coming up,
we learn more about an expansion at the Eastern Shawnee Learning Center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Hundreds of area residents are vaccinated in Joplin at a mass vaccine clinic. This is KOAM News at 6. Today was the first mass clinic put on by the Missouri National Guard for Region D. KOAM's Zach Dodge has details and what it means for the area.
A big day in Joplin as roughly 1,000 area residents received their first doses of COVID-19 vaccine. One of them was Joplin resident Kristen DeVore.
I feel great, no different than I did when I first got here.
She works at Children's Haven in Joplin and is excited to be one step closer to life getting back to normal.
It is something that is really important to me just because, I haven't been able to see my family, like my parents, like I hope I can in the near future.
The clinic this morning is being put on for the most part by the Missouri National Guard, and it's running like a well-oiled machine. This side road is where residents come in to get checked in the very back and fill out a medical questionnaire. This area is where residents will actually receive their vaccine. After that, they go to the very back observation area for 15 to 20 minutes before finally being released.
So far, so good.
It's the first clinic in Region D in Missouri organized by the National Guard and Joplin and Jasper County Health Departments, and the first mass clinic in Joplin. Health officials are relieved to see residents start to get vaccinated after waiting weeks for vaccine shipments.
The vaccine, it's hopefully the light at the end of the COVID tunnel.
To get a vaccine at the clinic, residents had to get an appointment. Others who just showed up were turned away. The health department hopes to announce some smaller scale vaccine clinics held by the city very soon, something that will happen once they receive their own doses.
I think the takeaway on this is that vaccine is coming. It gives a message of hope, basically, that we are moving to a point where hopefully we will be at the end of this sooner rather than later.
In Joplin, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
Joplin officials say they'll send residents alerts when vaccine clinics are held by the city's health department. We'll have details on how to get that alert on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. You can also get on the health department's waiting list by calling them at 417-623-4973. Checking in with Doug Hetty now for a first look at the weather. Doug.
Hey, Dow. It actually turned out to be a pretty good day for us today. Temperatures not bad, mid-50s for afternoon high, so quite a bit warmer than at least what we have seen over the past couple days. A lot of clouds have been streaming through. These are actually thickening up. This is ahead of our next storm system, which is going to roll in later on tonight. But you can already start to see some rain increasing down through parts of Oklahoma and Texas. And eventually this is going to start to roll in, especially after midnight for us tonight. But temperatures still pretty good. Most of us in that kind of 48 to 50 degree range. Has been kind of windy. That kind of helped our temperatures warm up for us today. The south winds at about 15 to 25. So through the evening hours, pretty quiet. Just a lot of clouds. We'll eventually get down into the mid-40s, but rain increases late tonight. We're going to break down that forecast for you here in just a bit.
And we'll catch you then. Thanks, Doug. An expansion at the Eastern Shawnee Tribe Learning Center in Wyandotte, Oklahoma adds more space for infants and a new dining space. The center is open to children ranging in age from 6 weeks to 12 years old. The tribe's chief says this expansion would not have been possible without Minnesota's Shakopee tribe.
They've been so pleased what we have accomplished here in an area that had no service whatsoever. That's what's important. It's now an area that has the best, not just the only, but the best service available within 100 miles.
The expansion brings an extra infant room as well as a cafeteria and more storage space. While the Learning Center is connected with the Eastern Shawnee tribe, they say they're pleased to be open to the public. A Miami, Oklahoma standoff ends with the arrest of one man. It happened just before 9 last night. Miami police responded to a report of shots fired in the 1100 block of I-Northwest. Police say a man fired at another person after a fight. Now, the victim was not shot but had injuries consistent with a fist fight. Miami police say when they arrived, the suspect barricaded himself inside the home with a family member. Police say officers made numerous attempts to talk him out, but they say he refused to surrender. Police were able to get the family member out of the house, then went into the home and arrested that suspect without further incident. Boulevard Brewing Company's founder is once again running the company after top executives resigned following harassment allegations made online. It all started with an anonymous Reddit post. Former female employees spoke out saying they were discriminated against, harassed, and that Boulevard had a corporate culture that allowed it to continue. The Boulevard founder says now that he's in charge again, the first step is to fix the trust that was broken.
We have a lot of repair to do with our employees. It starts from the inside. We've got to fix issues we've got. We've got to make our employees feel like they're being heard and respected. And we have to do this HR third-party audit to figure out what went wrong, who was harmed in this, and then really try to make that right, or as right as we can.
Republican legislators in Kansas have put a proposed anti-abortion amendment to the state constitution on the ballot for the state's August 2022 primary election. Now, approval by a simple majority of voters would change the Kansas Constitution. The measure would overturn a 2019 Kansas Supreme Court decision that found access to abortion is a fundamental right. The measure would not be an abortion ban, but would allow lawmakers to enact one if the U.S. Supreme Court allowed it. Still ahead, the Chiefs' success is playing a positive role on your mood, but you probably already knew that. We're going to learn about the science behind it and how it can help us all through a tough time. And
he has no idea.
A surprise of a lifetime for a very deserving Chiefs fan. If you're a Chiefs fan, you're feeling pretty good right now with the team preparing for their second consecutive Super Bowl. KOAM's Kate Kelly shares how all that excitement can provide a much-needed boost to your mental health.
No matter where Elizabeth Standridge goes, she takes her team spirit with her.
It's actually more interesting over the last couple of years because I've been all over the country as a travel nurse, and every Sunday I would wear some sort of Chiefs something. So generally somewhere in the country I can find some person that says something about it.
Being a Chiefs fan here in Joplin means making easy connections with patients who share her love for football.
It always brings out something. So generally one of your patients will say something and it just starts to spark a conversation and you get a connection with somebody from it.
As a medical worker, Standridge admits the pandemic has caused a lot of suffering. Many people are struggling with their mental health as they deal with the side effects of isolation that can come from COVID-19.
We've seen a lot of compassion fatigue. We've seen just a lot of disconnect, especially with our elderly.
If you've been feeling down, it turns out the Super Bowl can be a real mood booster no matter who you're rooting for. Similar to exercise, cheering for your team can release endorphins, the hormones that make you happy.
I think it gives us something to look forward to, a little bit of normalcy that you can get together with your family, that you see every day, get to look forward to that good food, get to see those great commercials. And if you have somebody that is not with you every day, you can Skype them in or Zoom them in.
It just brings everybody together. So not everybody in the Joplin area can be a Chiefs fan, but it still gives us that rivalry, and we don't have to be there to experience it. It gives us a hope. So something to look forward to.
In Joplin, Kate Kelly, KOAM News.
Some local health experts anticipate another spike in COVID cases from Super Bowl parties, so they ask people to try to celebrate safely, wear a mask, and social distance if you plan on tailgating with anyone outside your household. A K-State senior fighting a rare form of brain cancer got the surprise of a lifetime: 2 tickets to the Super Bowl.
This is a dream come true for me.
21-year-old Jace Ward had no idea he'd be packing his bags for Tampa. His mom, Lisa, told him they were hopping on a Zoom call with a hospital to take an exit survey. In the spring of 2019, Jace began experiencing trouble with his vision after a car accident. Following an MRI and multiple rounds of tests, doctors diagnosed Jace with DIPG, an aggressive, inoperable brain tumor that affects a person's ability to walk, talk, use their hands, and swallow. Well, thanks to 2 groundbreaking clinical trials, his tumor has shrunk by 25%. This spring, he'll celebrate 2 years, a milestone just 5% of DIPG patients see. But before that, he has a trip to take and history to witness.
I cannot express how much it means to go to a Super Bowl as a lifelong Chiefs fan. I've probably watched over 100 games with my dad. And so going to like the big one, going to the Super Bowl, it's going to be so incredible.
Jace was the first patient in the world in one of those clinical trials. He'll take his dad with him to the game and will also get to be on a CBS Super Bowl production Zoom meeting featuring Jay Feely, Tony Romo, and Patrick Mahomes. You've heard of him. Doug Heddy is up next with his complete forecast. And later, the Kansas City Chiefs are 9 days away from facing off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that Super Bowl. The voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, reflects back on the team's remarkable year in this week's Minute with Mitch.
Well, it turned out to be a great Friday for us today. We had sunny skies during the morning. The clouds thickened up during the afternoon, but our temperature is fantastic. Most of us went into the mid-50s for highs, about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than what we did see yesterday. And we're still about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than what we were at this time last night. 48 in Fort Scott, 50 in Parsons, Shawnee 47. Miami is sitting at 46. We have 49 in Anderson, Stockton, checking in at 46 degrees. And we're just not going to drop off much tonight. A few more degrees, and that should be about it, mainly due to the clouds. Also, the southerly winds, which have been picking up across the region. What that's going to do is keep those temperatures up just a little bit. For us tonight, we will drop back only into the mid-40s, 4 overnight lows. So that's it. We actually look pretty good through most of the overnight hours, and then we'll start to see some rain sneaking in here late tonight into tomorrow morning. Just cloudy skies right now, nothing underneath the clouds as our next storm system is developing. You can see the rain increasing Oklahoma and parts of Texas as the main system is now kicking out across the southwestern parts of the U.S. and it's going to zoom right on through over the next couple days. And it's going to give us that rain and also cool us down just a bit. Rain right now is fairly light, but it is increasing across Oklahoma and Texas all the way back through New Mexico, and eventually this is going to make it here. We'll start with some light showers, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then really start to pick up during the morning hours. So here's 2 a.m., a few random light little showers. Look at the rain increases. Here's 6 a.m., so we'll have light scattered showers, and then picking up to moderate, if not heavy, amounts of rain between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. That heaviest rain will start to shift east by about noon or 1 o'clock. We're still going to have some light showers behind it, but we'll get into the dry slot or the drier air of the system. So we're not going to have heavy amounts of rain by the afternoon. We'll just have kind of light showers. Temperatures, though, are still going to go into the 50s. We'll start at 45, 51 by noon, high temp at 55. Plus, it's going to be windy. Southerly winds at about 15 to 25. All of this will start to rotate out tomorrow night. We'll still have the clouds into Sunday morning, and then I think we'll get at least partly sunny skies by the time Sunday afternoon rolls around. It's just going to be quite a bit cooler. All right, rainfall amounts with this system. I think most of us will pick up a ½ an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain, maybe even upwards to an inch in some spots. So this is a very wet system that's going to roll through. Then by early next week, we get back under a ridge of high pressure. Looks pretty good. We have a couple nice days. Then rain chances and snow chances start to work in Wednesday into Thursday. Much colder air dives in for next weekend, so at least enjoy the 50s for now, as it's going to get quite a bit cooler late next week. 55 tomorrow, rain, heavy at times, especially in the morning. High of only 40 on Sunday, 49 Monday, back to 57 on Tuesday, and then turning much colder again by late next week.
Overall, though, plenty of temperatures in the 50s there. We'll take that this time of year for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Todd. Coming up in sports, Missouri Southern sophomore Maddie Stokes makes history on the basketball court. Plus, big changes coming for Independence Community College football. Jacob Leonard has details next.
Independence Community College head football coach Kiyoshi Harris is moving on. Harris has accepted a job at Division I Boise State, where he will serve as the Director of Player Personnel and High School Relations. Harris spent 4 years at Independence Community College, 2 as an assistant and 2 as a head coach. In his first year as head coach in 2019, he led the Pirates to an 8-2 record and a Jayhawk Conference championship. We visited with Harris this afternoon. You can check out more on the sports page at KOAMNewsNow.com. The Kansas City Chiefs are 9 days away from playing in Super Bowl 55. The Chiefs face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on February 7th, aiming for back-to-back titles. Like every Friday night during the season, it's time now to hear from the voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, in this week's Minute with Mitch.
Pinch me. Am I dreaming? The Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl? After 50 years between Super Bowl appearances, the Chiefs are doing it in back-to-back seasons. Now, this is my 27th year in the NFL, the 25th year of this Minute with Mitch feature. But there's never been a year like this one, not even close. COVID pressure, I call it. Every day, every coach, every player, every staff member, even the play-by-play announcer. The challenge of constant testing, being disciplined, treating everyone as if they're COVID positive. Plus, the sacrifice of not seeing family, skipping usual holiday get-togethers and real weird bye weeks. The challenge has been to stay focused on the 4 W's: washing your hands, wearing a mask, watching your distance, and winning a Super Bowl. On this Minute with Mitch. The Minute with Mitch is brought to you by Como Jewelry. Every day's game day, Como Jewelry, Pittsburgh, Joplin.
The Chiefs and the Buccaneers will square off at 5:30 next Sunday night in Super Bowl 55, right here on KOAM. Missouri Southern sophomore Maddie Stokes makes a little history on Thursday night. Stokes posted 31 points, 21 rebounds, and 7 blocks in the Lions' overtime win against Rogers State. It is the first 30-point, 20-rebound game in program history.
It's pretty cool, and just hearing everybody, even from back home, reaching out to me and telling me good job, it's very humbling, and it makes me proud, to know where I came from. They still keep up with me. They text me all the time about games, wanting to come. At the time, I didn't realize it because I was just there to win the ball game, and so I was just out playing.
Stokes and the Lions will be back in action tomorrow afternoon on the road against Northeastern State. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran, Corporal Forrest Nelson. The Riverton, Kansas native served in the U.S. Army. In his post-military career, Nelson became a teacher and later a fixture of the old Riverton store, where he shared stories with travelers on Route 66. He passed away on Wednesday at the age of 98, and we are proud to salute Corporal Forrest Nelson. He's tonight's 4-state hero. Here's Mike Mahoney with a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on our sister station, Fox 14.
Thanks, Dow. Tonight at 9, we will take a closer look at the debate over a permanent increase in security at the U.S. Capitol. Plus, President Biden has some big plans to save the U.S. economy, but some Republicans are balking at the price tag. And we'll also be taking a trip to the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo to check out some tiger cubs that were born just last month. We've got those stories and a whole lot more tonight on your KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Thanks, Mike. Let's check back with Doug now for a final look at the weather. Doug.
All right, Dow, we're going to get rain working in here after midnight tonight. It's going to be fairly light, but it's really going to pick up as we head into the morning hours. Showers, thunderstorms across the region, nothing strong or severe, and then just light showers by the afternoon. 55 for a high, turning quite a bit cooler on Sunday, a high temperature of only 40.
Thanks, Doug, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.